Superstars, how's it going? This is Coach Wood, and we are back, you guys, for another amazing week of the Weekday Huddle with Coach Wood. We are fresh into the new year, depending on when you're watching this. This is the beginning of 2026, so you know Coach Wood's going to come in hype. You know I'm going to be ready to go, and you know I'm going to be focused on getting to the top, baby. So hopefully your mindset is on the same thing. This is something that I have been thoroughly enjoying, coming in the huddle with you guys week in, week out, and building this football community. If you're joining us for the very first time, welcome. This is the Before You Go Pro channel. I am Coach Wood. This is a labor of love for me. We work with athletes across the country, you guys who are trying to get after it, and this is just an extension of trying to serve them. So thank you for joining us. Please make sure you come back, and then please consider hitting the subscribe button so that you're notified whenever we drop new content on behalf of Before You Go Pro and the Weekday Huddle, you guys. Also, we have curated some amazing football resources for you football players, you parents, you coaches out there. Down in the description box, go down there, check out what we have to offer, and hopefully you can find something that suits you. All right, so let's get into the topic, you guys. Every week we're going to bring in a topic that pertains to you young football players out there, you families of football players. And right now, at the timing of this video, you guys, the transfer portal is open and it's hot. It's hot. Guys are jumping in, guys are jumping out, and there's coaches that are trying to enhance their team, that are trying to get their team better for next year, and hoping that some of these kids that they pull out of the portal are the ones to help them do that. But with that being said, as we see the glitz and glamour of official visits, as we see or at least hear some of the dollars that some of these young men will be receiving, there's a dark side, you guys. There is definitely a dark side to the transfer portal. For those that don't know, Before You Go Pro actually is part of a recruiting company where we work with athletes, and just in this day and age, many of them do go in the portal, you guys, but it's strategized, it's talked over, and it's game planned. Hopefully, there are some occasions that a kid makes a move and then tries to get some advice after, but our kids know that we want to talk through these things on the front end. There's a dark side, you guys. There's definitely a dark side to this transfer portal thing. There are going to be some things that hurt these athletes in the long run. I'm a former football player. You see my old football helmet right there. Went to the University of Colorado. I spent 5 years at the University of Colorado. Went there straight from high school, you guys. There is a tremendous leverage that I have from being in Boulder, Colorado for that long. But I have regrets as a former student athlete, especially being older now and looking back on things. I have regrets, you guys. But I think that my regrets and some of my teammates' regrets or peers' regrets are going to be a lot less than these athletes that are coming through this NIL and portal era. When we think of the glitz and glamour side of NIL, you guys, that is very, very small few of athletes that are getting multiple offers, big time 6-figure, 7-figure deals, and jet setting across the country. That is very, very small percentage. At the time in the filming of this video, you guys, there is supposedly 4,500 athletes, 4,500 football players in the transfer portal. Now, obviously that encompasses everything from Division 1 on down, but that's way too many players. That's too many players by far for the amount of jobs that are available. So there's going to be a dark side to this NIL thing and to this transfer portal thing. Some of the things that we think of right off the top, you guys, are the fact that some of these young men are not going to get out of the portal. The fact that some of these young men are going to jump into the portal and find out that their value isn't as big as they thought it was. So what do you do when you jump into something and you find out that it wasn't what you thought it was? A lot of people try to run back, right? They try to run back where they thought the grass wasn't as green. They try to go back, and that door is going to be shut down for most of them. It's going to be shut down. A lot of these coaches are like, if you jump in the portal, don't plan on coming back. So a lot of these athletes, and these are some of the things that aren't talked about when you jump in the portal. Let's say that you start hearing what your value is, and what if it's less than the school you just left? What if it's less that you can get on the open market than the school that you just left? What do? The dark side of the portal, baby. We had an athlete that could have made money if he went into the portal more than what the school he was currently at is giving him. But his classes weren't going to transfer. His classes weren't going to transfer fully, which means that his graduation would be delayed. And if his graduation's delayed, that means that he may still have classes that he needs to take, and there's no more scholarship money. So that means that those classes would have to come out of his pocket if he wanted to graduate. If he decided to jump in the portal, yeah, he could get a few more bucks, but he wasn't going to be on time with his graduation. The dark side of the portal. How many athletes are thinking about that? I can guarantee you the agencies that some of these athletes have are not, or the people that are acting as agents for some of these athletes are not thinking about that. They're not worried if you graduate. They just want to make sure you get a higher dollar so they can get a higher commission. So these are the things that are becoming the dark side of transfer portal and NIL life. The NIL transfer portal era, it definitely has a darker element to it. Once again, a lot of these young men are not even going to get out, or they're going to have to take a pay cut and go to a lower division if they want to keep playing football. Some of them may hang it up. Another huge side to this is the bad contracts. You got a lot of the contracts that even the colleges, the universities are giving to the athletes are bad contracts. We've seen it all through our athletes that we work with before you go pro. We've seen contracts where the athlete, if he decided to leave the university after signing the contract, was going to have to pay over 2 times the value of the contract. We've seen contracts where an athlete was scheduled to graduate, but they were putting the money so far out that he would actually have to prolong his graduation or try to stay after graduation to get the final payment on his NIL agreement. So we've seen bad contracts, you guys, even from not only from the agents that are trying to work on behalf of these athletes, but also from the schools. You guys got to understand the transfer portal window is short. It's only a 2.5 week window. So a lot of stuff gets rushed. A lot of stuff gets rushed. And when things get rushed and they're not looked at thoroughly, guess what? You end up finding that you signed a bad deal. Whether it was a deal from the university or a deal from this agent that told you you were worth a lot of money. You end up you signing a bad deal, because the business wasn't done in a timely manner that gave you the opportunity to be thorough. So this, once again, this is a dark side of the transfer portal and the NIL, is that things are being done too quickly and people are regretting some of the contracts that they sign later on down the road. Some people are finding themselves in legal issues that they didn't even have to be in because of going through the transfer portal. Last but not least, you guys, in my opinion, the darkest side of the transfer portal and the NIL deal is the fact that a lot of these athletes are leaving from school to school and have no roots planted at any university. They have no strong relationships, no brotherhood at any of the universities. There is a big difference between how I look at my boys that I played with in college and that I went through 4 or 5 years at the University of Colorado with versus guys that I played with professionally. I was able to play professional ball about 4 years after my college career, Canada Arena Football League, and yes, made friends with some guys, had some good acquaintances, some great teammates. But when I really think back, you guys, over that 4 year period that I was bouncing around from league to league, there is one for sure, maybe two people that I really still talk to outside of a general casual social media back and forth DM. There's one for sure. The great Q Row, the great guru that we all know from the Locker Room Show. That is my brother. That is one for sure. And maybe one or two other more. But outside of that, you guys, the guys that I play with professionally are just friends. They're acquaintances. The guys that I played with in college and stayed with for 4 to 5 years, those are my brothers. A couple of them are the godfathers of my children. And unfortunately, you could want to stay somewhere. Maybe you sign with Vanderbilt or you go to Texas A&M. Maybe you want to stay somewhere for 4 or 5 years and you do it, but you can count that this is a day and age where your teammates aren't going to do the same thing. You are going to play with a bunch of different people at the university that you're at, even if you stay there yourself. But you can still make sure that you got strong roots at that university, that you have strong roots in the community in which that university resides. But as far as the locker room, it will never be the same unless the rules change, which they probably won't because everybody will sue the NCAA. You'll never have the brotherhood in college like the era that I did and before me. Because it's pro. It's pro. And in this day and age, it's pro year in, year out. Everybody's on a 1 year free agent contract. Picture if the NFL guys got to go from team to team after 1 year. It'd be a lot of guys jumping. So, you guys, this is the dark side. Do not forget, I have one dad of a big-time student athlete. Shout out Marco Jones, who's at Texas A&M, freshman beast, defensive rush end, and he's going to be an All-American, most likely in college. His dad said the goal is to get it right the first time. The goal is to stay at one school. But it is so rare. It is so rare nowadays. And there's becoming a huge dark side to the transfer portal and NIL. So, with that being said, you guys, tell me what you think. Is this the best day and age ever? And none of that stuff matters, Coach Wood. Don't worry about the networking and the relationships. Don't worry about graduating yet. Get to the bag. You can make networking and relationships later. You can get your degree later. Is that the new game? Is that what I should be thinking? Is that what we should be teaching? Well, before you go pro is not to worry about those things? Or do you think that these athletes will have possibly some tough times, or that some of this is painting a bad angle for these athletes to take if they jump into the portal too much? How do you feel about it? Let me know. Once again, that's why we have to come into the huddle. This is a fast-paced industry. A lot of you guys have questions. A lot of you guys are athletes or parents of athletes, the brother, sister of an athlete or a coach, and you're wondering how to best guide. So that's why you come into the huddle, you guys, and that is going to be Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. You guys can come into the huddle, get gamed up with Coach Wood and make sure that you're on the right path to have some success in this industry, okay? So, hey, before we get out, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you know when the next episode of the Weekday Huddle is coming your way. And then also check out all of those resources down in the description box for you. All right? I'm Coach Wood, you guys. We love you, and we will definitely see you at the top.